This is Angela with Danceable Thoughts, and this is our summer podcast series. Listen at your leisure and let it sink in. This is the time of year where things start changing. Ready or not, the calendar has flipped over to August, and there's back to school stuff to do. You got changes in your schedule. Your requirements for being here and being there have suddenly started stacking up, and you're just kind of wondering if you're going to make it through. Well, I know you can. I'm going to celebrate change. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that. Going to get very positive later on. But before I start in there, I want to take a moment to talk about what's in the news. This is the first week of August, so if you're listening to this podcast at different times, you know that there were two tragic mass shooting events pretty much within 24 hours. One in El Paso, Texas, and the other one in Dayton, Ohio, I believe, or a little town in Ohio. Very sad, both situations. Not getting into the politics, not getting into the world of guns and gun laws and that type of thing, because honestly, that's not my lane. I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. I want to celebrate the heroes that were there, that we will never know their names, that were probably people like you. And I inspire this conversation because I remember something that happened several years ago in Aurora, Colorado. In a movie theater, there was a shooting event. Equally sad, always sad. What I thought was memorable about that was that I believe they credited a person in the theater, a teacher, for fast thinking, and the teacher did not charge the assailant, didn't use physical force to change, but used their thinking and went and pulled the fire alarm, which when that happened, of course, that changed the atmosphere. It upset the status quo. It meant people were going to realize there was a problem in that theater. I mean, it was brilliant thinking. I really applaud teachers, first responders, but I'm going to talk about teachers because that's our community. We may roll our eyes when we have to do this drill or that drill, and we sit in staff development and we hear again how we're supposed to respond, but we are very much aware of the world around us. I can imagine that in the sadness, and my heart breaks. I think about all those back to school shoppers and those families and how frightened those children were, and grown-ups too. But I imagine there was some voice of calm in every group that said, here, this is how we take shelter, this is where we go, this is a smarter place to be. Soothing thoughts, reassuring to the people. That is our training. That is us to a T as teachers. We are able to help others. And I really believe that just as part of our natural role in society, we are the people who might be able to pull together the pieces and keep someone from breaking apart and becoming such a creature of evil that they would do something so devastating, such a horrific event. The loss of life is tragic, and I want to never discount what has happened there, but I'm going to focus for a moment on what we as teachers do. It's easily part of our job description. It sounds a little bit grandiose, but we are invested in the future. We value human life. We are teachers. We work, we study, we prepare, we help those kids become hopefully really good adults. We do the things that we need to. Of course, we teach subject matter, but we teach, shall we say, good citizenship. We teach empathy. We teach caring. We show through our actions that it is okay to care about people around us. I imagine that there is someone in this audience right now listening to me that has looked around at some social setting on their campus or in, where there were kids around, and seen the outlier kid that didn't seem to fit in. And with your wise sensibility, you thought, okay, of these superstar kids I do have, here's one that I know has empathy, who has a good sense of bringing people together. And you found a way for that outlier to get to that superstar kid, to foster a friendship or at least a start of a relationship, to change a little bit of the path of someone who could be straying into some dark place. We are teachers. We do these things instinctively. Of course, it doesn't look like that to the outside world because all they can think about is our test scores and the things we do, but we know better. We know what we do. And in this moment of sadness, I want you to reflect on the things that you can. Yes, you can write a letter, you can post something, you can vote, you can do all of those things, you can make a statement, but those all will take time down the road. But what you most immediately can do is you can look around at the people around you. You can, like I said, be that real example of valuing human life and appreciating relationships. That's what you do as a teacher. I believe in you. I know that you do this. I am proud to call myself one of you, and I want you to get out there and do it. Every time you find yourself getting frustrated with the world around us that we cannot control, look at that immediate circle that you have influence over and do something for the positive. So enough about that. Lots of prayers for them, lots of sadness, hope for change in the best possible way. But let's take it back up to the kinds of changes that we are getting into right now. I don't know if you follow my blog. I hope you do. It's just on the Danceable Thoughts web page. Go and visit it. Try to do it two times a month. It's called a link party, and it's just me curating a bunch of different articles on a random amount of topics so that I can get you in the mindset for back to school. I want you to do something fun. Check out the article about football, and then I give you a suggestion. I'm going to kind of tell you something fun. So someone who helped me get started as I became Danceable Thoughts, his great man, Coach Fisher, he does something on Twitter called Texas High School Football Chat. And I don't know that we can all jump in on his Wednesday night chat and say anything very meaningful, but I know that if you drop that little title, you just drop that into conversation with your coaches when you get put in that awkward grouping for staff development in a faculty meeting. Just drop that and see if their eyes light up, see if they have heard about it. It certainly, to me, looks like a worthwhile thing they do every Wednesday night. It's worthwhile so much that I'm hoping maybe in September we can start doing something similar to that. I will be happy to moderate it. It won't be me talking. It'll just be us, starting with a leading question, staff development word, and letting that leading question generate discussion. I think it's a great idea. If you're willing to participate, be sure you let me know through social media or text me if you want. Let me know. Say, hey, Angela, do that, and I will help you because I think it would be super fun. Speaking of other super fun things, and probably you're going to think a little bit annoying and crazy, I have started another subset of the podcast. It's called The Morning Rev. It's time to rev you up, get you ready for your day, get you energized, ready to face the future, face the path you have, hopefully with a smile on your face, maybe even have a few revelations about yourself. All very positive, no dance skill and knowledge required. Hope you'll share it with your friends. It drops at 6 a.m. every morning. It's about 2 minutes in length. It's me talking silly stuff, reminding you to have a good day, finding the positives. Some of it's a little bit cliche, some of it's from the crazy corners of my mind, but it's all for you because I want to celebrate you getting back to work. I want you to feel better about the things you are doing. I want you to acknowledge your own greatness. So the Morning Rev is going to at least go through the month of August, and 2 minutes every morning, 6 o'clock. Share it with your friends. Maybe, distribute it among your buddies and your immediate work group. Maybe y'all can use my crazy conversation as a conversation starter for you guys, because sometimes it's pretty good points. I've really enjoyed doing this, so I hope you'll try that. More crazy stuff from Angela, letting you know there's gonna be a party. I'm calling it a lesson plan safari. It's August 18th. It's here at my house in Sugar Land, starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Calling it a lesson plan safari. There is a fee. You can call it a cover charge, but there's a fee. $15. You come in, you get to see printed out copies of the new lesson plans. You can see the new manipulatives I've made. I've been working hard on the spinners. You've got the decks of cards. And so for your $15, you will be able to pick out one of those things for you to have for your classes for the start of school. And then when your shopping is done, that same fee covers any kind of beverage that I might have sitting out and your path right out to my backyard, to my pool, so you can go from the safari of lesson plans to the watering hole in the backyard. So weather permitting, we'll be out there till dark, I imagine. And more than just a lesson plan time, it's also for you to gather and celebrate back to school. So that's August 18th. I really need RSVPs so I know what to buy and how much to stock the watering hole with. So there's a Google form. You can find it on Facebook, link to it on Facebook or on the website. And you jump on. Just let me know you're coming just so that I can get all the stuff ready for a really good safari. You got to pack the supplies, got to have stuff for our canteens because it might be very thirsty work out there trying to figure out what great lesson plans you've got for the new school year. Giving you some freebie stuff for the new school year. One of my freebie things that I want to talk to you about is I've got this great new approach to the way to do curriculum, the way you can structure curriculum and use it for, I'm going to say, for all that self-guided learning stuff. I'm calling them the Thinking Dancers Journals, and I've already made them for you. You can look at them. There's all different subjects, but even if you don't use my actual thinking journal, I want you to start thinking in this way when you are introducing a new topic to your students, whether you teach dance or you maybe half the day you have to teach another subject, but I want you to guide them and you've heard these things in staff development. It's more fun hearing it from me, I'm sure. That was ridiculous. But I want you to think about letting the students predict their own experiences. Hopefully they will have positive predictions, but if they're truthful, some of them are going to say, no, I don't want to learn this. And so they start with predicting their experiences, and then you let them track themselves during the learning, and then you follow up at the end, and I call it their marquee moment. So whether they said they weren't going to like it at all or they thought they would be fantastic at it, I want you to think about it as tracking their progress and giving them an opportunity at the end to say that they did something correct, okay? Even if the person who hates ballet and thinks it's boring will realize that they did something well, or somebody that was super out of shape and didn't want to do the fitness dance suddenly had a really good time and is willing to do it again, maybe make it part of their day. So I want you to always start with predicting experiences and marquee moments. So beyond all the other things you do in your lesson plan, I think if you put that in, it's going to work great. Your admins are going to think, oh, so wonderful. And it will help keep you on track too as a teacher, because you'll be able to gauge how they feel about things. Probably have to do a little bit of your own persuasion and, shall we say, marketing and advertising to get them excited about it. And then at the end, when you let them tell you what they did well, some people talk about that sort of like an exit ticket, but I'm thinking of the whole unit. When they're talking about what they did well, you're going to give them the opportunity to say good things about their experience. And they will hear, and I hope you'll do it out loud with other students, and they will hear other students say, oh, I really enjoyed this and I thought I did well at that. And it builds that positive environment that you don't have to be perfect at everything, because sometimes we get really caught up in, I have to do this technically correct at all times. We're not going to all be perfect at every dance style and every combination that's that, but we're going to have some marquee moments. Marquee as in, your name up in lights. This is what you really did well. I hope you'll take that idea and you'll run with it. I also want to super encourage you to do word walls with your terminology. The terminology you're teaching. I'm also working on word wall, so you can have terminology that you want to use. But of course you can customize it. I'm going to encourage you also, and if you need my help, I'm here to do it for you as well. But I want you to customize your word wall in a way that matches the theme, whatever your theme is for your performing group, the theme in your room. I hope you'll bring your dance classes in to that theme with the word wall, maybe some funny funny graphics, cute stuff. Just, it's the old-fashioned bulletin board from elementary school days. We'll take it and make that their educational space. One more idea about your classes. I hope that you will find a way to display your students' work. We so much think about dance always being activity-based and performance-based, but as you are going into this new school year, there's going to be an open house very soon at the beginning of the school year, where most of the time, if you're going to get parents visiting open house, it's going to be at the first one of the school year because they want to take a measure of you and their students' schedule and what's going on. Be sure you have something positive to have on display. Find a simple craft project or something that really demonstrates the wide range of activities that they're going to learn in your classroom. I think that's a very useful trick. Old teacher passing it on to young teachers. It's a very good thing for you to do. In conclusion, we're winding down to the end of this. I hope that you are getting excited about the new school year. This new change in the schedule, of course, is harrowing at some point because you're like, everything seems different. The traffic patterns seem different. If you drive anywhere in Houston, they are constantly changing which road is under construction. Well, I want you to do the very best you can to make each day a building block to the success that you want. I'm finding it very powerful to visualize the best possible version of you, the best possible version of your classroom, the best possible version of your performing group. If you speak it into existence, then it gives it a little bit of gravitas in your world. It's there for you. Speak the best version of yourself, of your classes, of your performing group, heck, even those fellow faculty members. Take this opportunity to, and I'm going to part with my new favorite phrase, to be cheerfully and actually excited and forward thinking about your new school year. Don't go into it looking at the negatives. Go forward into August thinking about all of the best possible things you can do. Aggressively cheerful, I might even add. Bring everybody around. Don't let anybody weigh you down. So I hope you'll take all of these great ideas. I'll be helping you think it through. You're soon to be having all your students dancing it out. It's all about our excitement and danceable thoughts, and I hope you will join us on the many activities we're doing. Can't wait to talk to you soon. See you in person, a lot of you, very soon. Lesson Plan Safari.